Well, it's the Alex Georgiev curse for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is the second game the Leafs have played against Georgiev, the New York Rangers goaltender. And for the second game in a row, he has stood on his head, had a horseshoe so far shoved right up his rear that the Leafs can't bury anything. Leafs lose 2-1 in overtime to the New York Rangers. And the reason I say all those things about Georgiev, 1 goal on 45 shots for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it wasn't not like they didn't have any quality chances. There was a lot. And then you go back to the last time we faced him. 1 goal on 56 at one point in the game. He made 69 consecutive saves. And this guy's statistics this year: 10-12 with a .311 goals against and a .905 save percentage. But for some reason, against the Toronto Maple Leafs, he fires his best games out there. And the Leafs, you know what? I'll take the point for what it is, as much as they deserve to, and we'll move on from it. You know, and it didn't start out that great. Obviously, the Leafs were playing well, but they couldn't score. And that's the thing we've noticed with this team: when they can't get the goal scoring, you know, the defense has to be good. And relying on Leafs defense is not something us Leaf fans really want to see. And in the third period, just 19 seconds in, Buchnevich, however I can pronounce his name, scores his 18th goal of the year. And the Rangers take the lead 1-0 just early in the third period. And I think at that point, even Leaf fans were a little nervous because the Leafs, they've not found a way to bury anything on Georgiev. So you got to find a way and score one. About 8.5 minutes in, Morgan Rielly, this guy has had one heck of a hockey game today, kind of backhands one towards the net. It goes up in the air. Mitch Marner tries to whack at it. I think he gets a piece of it, but doesn't go anywhere. John Tavares picks it up, and Zach Hyman's the last guy streaking down the middle. Tavares feeds him a beautiful one on a silver platter, and he buries it into the wide open net. The Leafs tie the game at 1, and we're thinking, hallelujah, let's just get a point out of this and move on. They do, and then Ryan Strome scores in overtime to win it for the New York Rangers. But the Leafs, like I said, played the better game as they did against New York last time. But it's weird. You just lose the game in overtime. We'll take the point because, Leaf fans, what do the points really do at this point? You're not going to catch the Boston Bruins. After that mini 3-game losing streak they had, and the Leafs barely capitalized on that at all, the Bruins have now won, what is it now, 4 straight now? They've now won 4 straight games. They're 6 up on the, or I guess now, sorry, they're 5 up on the Leafs, I think it is, as of right now. So, with the same amount of games played in hand, with like 7 games to go, it's not going to be easy to try and catch the Boston Bruins the rest of the way. All we want to do right now is just push the Montreal Canadiens away. Now, I think Montreal won tonight. They won 7-4 over the Buffalo Sabres, but the Leafs do get a point. The Leafs are still 9 points up on the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal does have a game in hand, however. But you're up 9 points with like 8 games to go or 7 games to go. You're telling me the Leafs aren't going to get any points the rest of the way? That's why I'm not worried. And in the fact that, excuse me, you go back to that Nashville game, and we talked about it in the last video, and I'll say it again. In that Nashville video, the Leafs had an amazing second and third period. You go to the Buffalo game, and for about what? I don't know, the 60-minute games, probably about 50 minutes of the Buffalo game, the Leafs flat out dominated. And then you look at today's hockey game, and the shots on goal are 45-28 Leafs. In the last 3 games, the Leafs have not given up 30 shots. Frederik Andersen, 2 goals on 28 shots. Anybody saying, well, he didn't play that well? You're telling me a 197 goals against average and a 929 save percentage is not good? I don't know what you're talking about then. And the Leafs, like I said, 45 shots. They only get the 1 goal. They only find a way to beat Georgiev 1 time. And that's just that. And the good news is we're not going to be seeing that guy in the playoffs, so that won't be an issue. I mean, the Leafs just dominated in just about every aspect of the game. Face-off dot, plus 13, 60%. the Leafs were on the face-off dot. 0 for 3 on the power play. I mean, you just couldn't beat Georgiev. It was just a problem. You couldn't do it. Now, from the way down the stretch, guys, going down the stretch, wins and losses, I mean, yeah, it's nice to see, and you want to go into the playoffs on a winning note, for sure. But you're just trying to get healthy, and you're trying to kind of solidify some things and have Frederik Andersen find himself again, right? That's really the things we're worried about here. Frederik Andersen's play and the injuries to Jake Gardiner and Travis Dermott. I will give you guys updates right now. So, a couple days ago, I think it was, or I guess, yeah, a couple days ago, on Friday, so yesterday, Jake Gardiner actually skated on the ice. First time since that back injury. That is amazing to see, because we had no clue what the heck was going on. We kept hearing no progression, and we're like, is this guy going to even play in the playoffs? But to see him skating yesterday and getting back into action a little bit, great to see. Travis Dermott was practicing yesterday as well. He was in a non-contact jersey, but he was practicing with the team. So both guys, they're getting there. And that's the big part heading into the stretch run and into the playoffs. You want to get those guys healthy. You want the rest of the guys to stay healthy. And you want Frederik Andersen to find himself the rest of the way. Now, if you want to be positive about things, Frederik Andersen in the last 2 games has given up 2 goals in each game. That's nice. That's fine. You win games that way by giving up only 2 goals or less. Especially with the way the Leafs score. More often than not, you'll win. And he lost tonight, but it was not for lack of trying. This team really put on the pressure, just couldn't win in overtime. It's the way it goes. Morgan Rielly, like I said earlier, had one of the best games I've seen him play. He had 9 shots on net for a defenseman. 9 shots for Morgan Rielly. Marner had 4. Hyman had 3. Tavares had 3. Matthews and Nylander both had 4. But you just couldn't beat Georgiev. It's just the way it happened tonight. You got to put this one behind you, take the point, and move on from it. The next game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys, is on Monday night, a 7 o'clock puck drop at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs welcome in the Florida Panthers to town. The Buds look to get back into the win column after tonight's loss. And who the heck, Sam Montembeault? Is Roberto Luongo injured? Or is he just not playing? I don't know. It says Montembeault is the expected starter. Is it a back-to-back for the Florida Panthers? No, it's not. So I'm assuming it's going to be Bobby Lou, but we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out on Monday night. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoy this video, and you guys didn't really enjoy the game because it was kind of a hair-pulling game because the Leafs had a million chances, just couldn't find the back of the net. Hit the like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys, what'd you think of the game? Anybody you were on the Leafs you were really impressed with? What do you think of Frederik Andersen's game tonight? And what do you think about this whole Georgiev curse? Or whatever the heck you want to call it. Because he's faced this twice in his career. And he's done fantastic. 1 goal on 56 shots and then 1 goal on 45 shots. Somehow the Leafs haven't buried it. You guys look into that at all? Or do you just say, whatever. It just happens that way at times. And that's the way you want to look at it, then great. And Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition. It'll be sometime this upcoming week, probably Thursday. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys what it'll be. Blue Jays edition. It'll be Wednesday for the season preview before the... Well, thank you for focusing back on there, camera. Before the season kicks off on Thursday afternoon as the Jays welcome in the Detroit Tigers to Rogers Center. And boy, oh boy, injuries have already bitten the Blue Jays. Ryan Brucky's on the 10-day DL, it looks like, with some, I want to say inflammation or something, but my goodness. What the heck's going on? So it's going to be a really interesting start to the year for the Toronto Blue Jays. But Aaron Sanchez and Marcus Stroman, after having amazing spring trainings, look to put that into regular season form starting Thursday, all right? And as for the Toronto Raptors, we will talk to you guys tomorrow night as the Raptors are welcoming the Charlotte Hornets to Scotiabank Arena tomorrow night, 6 p.m. tip-off. And the Charlotte Hornets just today beat the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics continue to be horrendous on the road. They've now lost 3 straight. They're 43-30, and they're just not feeling well. You guys got your daily dose of Boston losses. There you go. All right, and as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys, like we've talked about, their next game is Monday night as they welcome in the Florida Panthers to Scotiabank Arena. You look to get back into the win column after tonight's just tough loss because you couldn't beat the goaltender. Problem is, if they do play Roberto Luongo, the Leafs don't usually have a good time against Bobby Lou. But it's at Scotiabank Arena, 7 p.m. puck drop. It says Montembeault against Frederik Andersen are the expected starters. I don't see it happening, but we'll have to wait and see how it all goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening to this video, and I'll talk to you guys then.